London's fair city, where the girls are so pretty, I first set my eyes on sweet Molly Malone, as she wheeled her wheelbarrow through the streets broad and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. He was a fishmonger, and sure 'twas no wonder, for so were her father and mother before, and they wheeled their barrow through the streets broad and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. She died of a fever, and sure no one could save her, and that was the end of sweet Molly Malone. Now her ghost wheeled her barrow through the streets broad and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh.
Folks, for the Dubliners, and before we conclude our journey for the day, can I ask you to have one last look around, any valuables you may have, credit cards, phones, iPads, iPods. It's amazing what we always find here when we look around. Will you have one last look around, please, before we depart? And before we depart, folks, my final chat to you is an admission about my Viking hat as worn by Egar the Boneless, 797. Maybe it wasn't worn by Egar the Boneless. I have some doubt whether in fact this was worn, and whether it is an original Viking hat. A Viking woman, or a Norwegian woman, did say to me one day the Vikings would never have a hat with the word Ireland written on it, because they would not want people knowing where they were going, the Vikings. So I might accept that it is not an original Egar the Boneless hat, but nevertheless it serves a second purpose. The Egar the Boneless hat, we leave it at the front of the bus, and any tips or